Hi, welcome to RC Kicks. On today's show, well, we're back focusing on the Super Avante. Now, this is the kit that was released about a month ago by Tamiya, and we got to see a lovely teaser trailer, and then we got to really dive in and see lots of information about it. So I think Tamiya really did a fantastic job of drip feeding this to us to get us excited. And if you look at the viewer numbers of their videos, yes, it did exactly that. Now, it was a bit controversial. There was some aspects that people really didn't like and some things they really did. So it's quite an interesting one, and I think this is a good thing. We need to take this away that it's actually a good thing because they're producing something that gets our attention and gives us a polar opinions, because if you just bang out another TTO2B, well, we're all bored of those. So you can't really punish Tamiya for trying to do something different by complaining about it just because you don't necessarily agree with it, but it's different. So I personally think it's a good thing that they tried this. Now, there's a few things I personally feel that they kind of slid off, but we'll get back to that later on in this video. Also, at the end, we'll also cover some of the Wild One information that's come out since I put out a last video. So the Super Avante kit 58696. Now, the ETA in the UK currently is going to be the 21st of October, but it's subject to change, so don't hold me to that, being that shipping is a bit of a challenge and things like that. We're not quite sure when exactly we're going to get it, but that's the date currently listed. Now, there's been a lot of new images coming out, which is fantastic, and I'll start putting some up here while I'm talking to you so you can get a better view of what you're actually going to be getting. So the first image we got is obviously the box art, and like most things, Tamiya have put out a beautifully painted box for it, which is fantastic because it would have been a bit disappointing if they'd actually just stuck a photograph on it like you get on some other kits. I think it deserves to have a painted artwork body, and that's what they delivered. Unfortunately, if you look at another image of the inside, we can see it's not blister packs and it's not laid out. So I know some of you will be disappointed with that, being that it's a Super Avante. It's kind of their middle of the road where you've got a center divider with the branding on it, but then most things are just sort of piled in there. So again, me personally, a little bit disappointed, but I build all my kits anyway. But for the people who collect the boxes and like to look at them and how they're laid out, I can see some people being a little bit disappointed. Prices, well, currently I've seen a range available from £281 to £324, so I think you're going to have to shop around a little bit to get the right deal for you. From that point of view. Now, originally it's supposed to be ETA for 21st of October, but that is subject to change. Obviously, Tamiya are having issues shipping and things like that, so I wouldn't hold me to it that it will be here exactly on the 21st. It could be around that date, but hopefully as we get closer, we will know more. Now, while we look on the inside of the box, we can see that the polycarbonate body is actually clear. It's not a pre-painted body. Now, this is going to please some of you and disappoint others. Now, with the high resolution images, if you look very closely, you can see that the body and the top section that's in yellow is not one piece. It's actually screwed down, and it goes down inside the cockpit, which allows the driver to have a driver's cockpit with all the dials in. This should make painting up the body a little bit easier, but there will be a lot more cutting out. When we look at the decal sheet, we can see there is little yellow sections for the tops of the arches as well as around the side windows, but apart from that, the rest is done with paint. The flip side to that is the people that don't actually like the box art color of the vibrant blue and vibrant yellow can actually change this and choose what they prefer. In the UK, we actually have a product called WD-40, which is pretty much exactly the same color as the Avante box art. So a lot of people don't really like it in the UK, but you will be able to change this. I think the core issue is that the vibrant blue and vibrant yellow kind of clash and try to be fighting each other instead of complementing each other, where I think if you have the yellow and then you go for a more darker color, something like gunmetal or a darker kind of pastel-y color, I think it will then highlight the yellow and give you a more uniformed kind of feel to it. And that's exactly what I'm going to do with my kit when it arrives. One aspect that I noticed that I think they could actually do is when you look at the body, a lot of the yellow is on the top, but there's no actual yellow on the whole car, apart from the fluorescent yellow wheels, obviously. Now this means you've got a lot of yellow on the top, but very little underneath. One thing I think would have been a good idea was to have yellow springs, so when you looked through the window, you'd see the lay down shocks. It would have given more attention to detail and it would have shone through the window, which would have been a really nice thing. Now that doesn't mean they can't do that, because it just means changing the springs, or you could probably spray the springs yourself, which is something I'll probably do myself. What I did notice is the prop shaft is a metallic blue. Personally, I think it would have been a good idea to actually stick with the yellow. Being that the chassis is all black, you could have put some accent yellow parts in. So hopefully maybe we'll see some upgrade parts for this car that will be out in yellow. That would be really nice. Instead of swapping out parts for anodized blue, maybe some yellow, as long as they could get the yellow to match the actual car, because when you look at the body, the yellow is all on the top, but there's nothing underneath. On another note, the Wild One from Jun Watanabe, BlockHead Motors. This is kit 58695 and it's currently got a release date of the 22nd to 23rd of November, and prices are around the £229 in the UK. One thing that I didn't announce at the time and came slightly later and a bit under the radar is Tamiya actually going to release the Wild One again. Yes! I have really wanted one of those for a long time. Don't get me wrong, I was super happy to see the BlockHead one, but I really do like the original Wild One. So this is coming out on kit 58525. It's just a reissue. There's no changes as far as we can see, and that is £179. So you're looking at paying £179 for a original one and £229 for the Jun Watanabe one. So obviously that has more cost because it's been outsourced and designed by another company. What do you think? Do you think that's a fair price? Personally, I'm happy with it. I can see it being a highly collectible kit, just like the Jun Watanabe Hornet became. So this is one I know all the collectors are going to jump on. I'm getting both in the studio and we will build both on the show, so stay tuned for that one. Thanks very much. Please like and subscribe and stay tuned for lots more RC content coming soon.